Right, yeah, guys and girls, welcome back. It is Wednesday, the 21st of July, 2021 at the time of the video, and it's 4:05. Now, I did some work yesterday using my new iPad. I've got this folio thing on the back, and on the back here we've got a little Lidar cameras. Or a little scanning camera, 3D scanning camera. Now, I've been using that to do 3D grammetry and all that kind of stuff, just to see how well the Lidar really works. And it works to perfection almost. There's certain bits and bobs where the geometry is not coming through to take the ceiling as much, and there's like holes in there, which I could just fill out the mesh anyway. Just by using some sort of mesh cleaner where you can just copy the mesh from the one and then just place it on top of the other. I will do a tutorial video on that at some point, but it's done its job. The Lidar has done its job. Alright, so if I can... Alright, let's get the Unity up. 2.4.4 for the hub. Let's bring in something I've been working on. Alright. Now, you're going to be very, very impressed with this, guys and girls, actually, if you kind of like this stuff. Let us know, put a thumbs up in the comment section below. So let's get the 3D scanners. I want to delete this a minute. I want to basically actually what I'll do is I'll start from scratch. So new scene. Let's create a new scene. Hang on. Let's create new scene, and then we could do a quick tutorial on how it works. Right, have we got there? Yeah, that's lovely, that's good. Right, so we can add fake lighting, we can add a lot of stuff to this. So let me just bring up the magic of OBS, Open Broadcaster. It's absolutely free. Download it, guys and girls. You don't have to pay for it. It's basically a streaming software and a recording software, and it's absolutely free. It can work on Mac or PC or Linux and all this kind of stuff, different Windows. So right, so what we're going to do, right, so the video I uploaded yesterday of the actual tunnel is basically this. So behind me on the actual video itself was actually the tunnel that I basically 3D scanned. It's by Sainsbury's. There's this like underpass. So the underpass itself goes straight under, goes to Sainsbury's. And then there's like a sort of a primary school there. There's like a sort of underpass. It goes over to the fields as well. So they've got a lot going for them. Sometimes you get like people under here, like kids cycling under there. I've cycled a few times under this underpass myself, and above it there's an actual bridge that you go over where the cars and stuff go over. And I'll tell you what, it's pretty good. And now on either side there's actually a slope. So over the one side there behind me on the video is actually towards the primary school, and behind me, or in front of the camera, so behind the camera from my iPhone where I was shooting with it, is actually it's the supermarket Sainsbury's. So but you have to go up this like little bit of a slope, so it goes up the slope. On either side there's a slope. Now I did not do a 3D grammetry of the slope, so I might have to do a 3D grammetry of it, of the slope, and see how well or good it takes on doing like a walkthrough as well, because also before you get to Sainsbury's, you climb up that little steep sort of, not a steep thing, but it's like a little slope, and then you go across the zebra crossing. There's like a underwalk path where you walk underneath it, and there's like loads of shops there and a little pub to the left side. But yeah, so let's gonna show you, right? So this is the main bit here. This is where there's loads of graffiti in there. Now you're going to be very, very impressed. So let's turn this bit off a minute because we don't need that now, and let's quickly go to our display capture mode. Okay, so there's our display. So we'll just quick put that there so you can see my desktop. Alright, so we'll go straight from there to the Unity. Now the Unity I'm using is 2020.3.9 F1, which is basically the new version for Outspace, which is in virtual reality. Now if you go to Outspace, you could either go in 2D or you could go into 3D, where you're actually in virtual reality using an Oculus Quest or some sort of like Google box, sort of VR box, virtual box, like Google Cardboard, and you can go into it and it looks amazing. Now obviously, right, we've got nothing in it, it's empty. I've just done it from the beginning. So basically what we're going to do is going to add this here. Now as you can see, there's no lighting in there. Look, it's actually not lit up, even though like the floors, it's got actual natural light in there anyway from the tunnel, from when I recorded and did a 3D scan of the environment. But as you can see, it's actually, this is a 3D scan. You'd think actually this is actually a real environment of the actual tunnel itself. So when the tunnel you go into, guys and girls, you can add fake lighting in it as well. So the fake lights will actually look more better or more brighter. So actually, so if we go, let's add a attachment to it. So if I go here, go down to lighting, and let's do say area light. Now depending on the area, I don't know if it works actually, the area lights on here, because some do, but I've noticed some of them don't actually work for some reason. I'm still trying to work on right, so area baked, so on intensity. So we can push the intensity up a little bit. No, it's not working, these ones. Some lights do, some don't, so I don't know why the area light is not working. So what we'll do, we'll detach that a minute, we'll delete that, and we'll add a directional light. Now directional lights are pretty cool because it lights up the inside of the tunnel, and obviously the tunnel itself, as you can see as well, with the mesh, it didn't do the ceiling too very well, because there's actually gaps and holes in the ceiling, as you can see there. Something to do with the mesh rendering, not rendering properly. Also, I did too many passes in the tunnel. I went in there a couple of times, and what it's done, it's actually done it 3-4 times, the mesh, so it's overlapping, kind of overlapping, but obviously it still looks clean, that I actually went into it. So also I need to go to make it bigger, because the tunnel was slightly bigger, not too big, but it was big enough to walk in, and right, so that way I think that might be way, I don't know, actually that's not too bad considering it's a little bit bigger, and then it looks more realistic, in a sense. Now what we're going to do, because we've got this here, obviously we could chop some of this off here, because we don't really need that bits and bobs there, obviously, because of the things there, so we could chop that off in the editing software of Scaniverse, which I'm using at the moment to actually 3D scan these environments. So what we're doing now is we'll go to lighting, directional light, and you watch this. Watch the change. Okay, so what we do, lift that slightly up. Because we can't do it in real time, we have to bake the lights in. So then we can have soft shadows, or you can have no shadow, non-textures. Yeah, so we can have no shadows, or we can have like hard shadows, which is actually, the shadows kind of look really groovy as well. They look quite realistic because you've got the shadows there, but if you take them off, as soon as you take the shadows off, then they disappear, look, and you don't get that realistic stuff. So I like to do some nice soft shadows. Obviously the floor looks a bit different because of the lighting, but at least it's doing its job. Now we could go, because I've got directional light, baked, intensity, we could put that up by 2, but it'd be way too big. Or if we add 1 there, that's still way too much. So I try and put it to around about 0.5, because at least then it's not overwhelmingly too dark in there. But and then what you could do theoretically is I could go to this here and then add maybe some extra lights in there, because what I like to actually add in here is point lights. Sometimes point lights are usually good. And then what you can do then is you can have that shoe. Point lights. So point lights, I mean, technically are pointing in a direction that you could want. And then you've got the point light there, and that points in the direction, so it gives a little bit of light in the tunnel. Not too much, but obviously. And then what you do, take the real time off, bake it in, and then we could probably have too much, or could put 8. Actually, make it night time as well, so we could make it night time by putting a dark setting. So if you want a skybox, what it does, it makes the tunnel look even darker at night. And then, yeah, no, I'm 2 seconds on it. Alright, so what I do is I can actually do the exposure and then make it even darker, like that. And then we can do it so we're walking through. We've got the little point light there and all that, so we can have that slightly. Hang on, let's go to point light, and we could do range, so 15, and then we could actually downsize the lights there, maybe 2. Yeah, okay, so we could have that there, and then have the lights up here attached to these lights at the top. So basically it looks like then that these lights are actually showing there. So then we can have that going in to the tunnel, and then what we do then is add another point light. So we can have another point light, and then have that basically up around about here attached to the next lights, and we can do that around, and I'll have a bit bake. So say this point light's at 2 for the intensity, we put that one at 2, and what was that one, that's at 15, so we do that one at 15 as well, and we can have that right next to the light as well, and make it a nighttime setting. Right, so we can have that, so basically up above, attached to the wall, because when you put it up to the wall there, all those will, so add some shadows, and add some shadows, make it actually like the reflection of the light, and add some soft shadows there as well. Now if we go here, because it's night time, we've got this nice little setting. You can have this like little area dark here. Now you want it baked in there, so you can have baked light in, so it makes it look like you're actually walking through a tunnel at night time, like underpass, because obviously, and because the rest of this area is dark here, we could put more lights, more point lights in the area, just to make it so it looks so good. But this is all I've been doing, guys and girls, like, and obviously you can tell this is the same tunnel that I've actually taken videos of in there, and I did this all in 8K, so recorded the textures in 8K. On the Oculus Quest 2 it seems to output I think around maybe less than 2 to 4K, so I mean I've done a good job on it. Let's just say I've done a good job on it, I think, myself, for my first attempt on adding some lights in here. Looks quite impressive, and I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to add some like stuff in here as well, like I could actually, because this is empty at the time and there's nothing in it, I could probably put scan some homeless people or something, and then put some homeless people in there, so that it looks like they're actually inside the tunnel, which would be awesome. And also you can actually, I could actually add this, look at that, oh wow. So basically I could add some pictures in here, and we could do maybe, so say if I added, let's actually add a 90 degree on that one, and move that slightly back. Then we've got the shadows on the wall, look at, on the floor of the area, and we could end up making something good. So we put that just here, right, like that, and then we can add like a picture inside there. So I could end up, say if I wanted to put a picture of the Last Supper in there. Let's have a look. I put a picture of the Last Supper inside. I mean, obviously we're going to have to double the size up of this and make it so it's bigger, 2 times bigger, 2 times wider, and 2 times thicker, and then that'd be quite cool. And yeah, and then we could put some candles down here, or little candles, and make it into like a horror setting. Yeah, make it into like a horror setting or something. And obviously it's dark in this area, but obviously with the shadows and the lights and all of that, looks pretty good. So we'll take this out, and we'll take the actually we'll take the paint mesh, yeah. So, or we could just have it as an empty thing. But let us know what you guys and girls think, and what do you think I could make this into, basically. I mean, I could 3D scan the entire lot all the way up to the bridge as well, the flyover, which is actually going towards the A370, which is going to the motorway. but for what it is, media, display capture. So for what it is, what I've been doing, guys and girls, on here with the iPad Pro and 3D scanning and doing geometry and stuff and working out how big the world should be and not be and all that, and then just working on other projects, maybe making a game at some point, which would be awesome, would be quite cool. But yeah, let us know in the comments below, guys and girls. Stay safe, and I will see you on the next episode into my series. I hope you guys and girls are enjoying it, but definitely put a like, favorite, comment, share, subscribe and all that, and I'll see you on the next episode, guys and girls. Thanks for watching.